Yeah, this is Point Izzy. Coming in hard and on to calm. Coming with the flow straight from the barrio. And coming with the heat from the damn street. This is PDNN Point Black National News, the late and the great edition. And the ghetto edition as well. Because we have the facts that we're going to examine sometimes. You know what I'm saying? To crack the backs and the boom bit to their lion ass lips, which we already know. This is what it is. You know what I'm saying? In many ways, much truth is being revealed in all ways. And that's the way it should be. Because when we look at the present situation of the world today, what we see going on today has been going on. You know what I'm saying? And the way people have or had accepted many things on this earth as it is, we find that many of them were not straight, mentally as well. And the physicalness of what they have done to people and the world as a whole shows the evidence. Like, for instance, many people speak about in church and different religious groups, and they always use the word faith. And one time I had a debate with a brother who passed away, my man Knowledge, and we was arguing back and forth about the word faith, which he didn't care too much for. But what I was trying to explain to him, it is just a choice. In other words, at that time, my knowledge was a little on the up, because I had a lot going on at the time, and so I didn't have time to really get into it. You know what I'm saying? But what I was trying to explain to him as quick as I can is that faith is a word that is used as a choice of words because those are the words that were given to you as you were educated in the United States in the so-called English language, which is really not their language anyway. But at the same time, you were brought up in that language. So the choice of words that are used are the words in which they use in order to tell you something in yourself. But the faith that I was trying to explain to him about was not the same as theirs, because it is just an argument over choice of words, really. You know what I'm saying? Because it's the same thing if you say faith, strong, or power. You know what I'm saying? When we look at the word strong, then that has to come from inside you. And when it comes to faith, it's the same thing. You know what I'm saying? But faith in what is what you're asking is the question. You don't have faith in anything because faith doesn't exist. Because for it to exist, it has to come from within you. Same as someone said, you know what I'm saying, you use the word strong. Strong comes from where? It doesn't exist. Strong comes from you presenting yourself in a way that shows that that is what your strength is as a human being, and if it's, you know, showing where you can do something that somebody else, you know, naturally can't do but could do, but doesn't have the muscle mass and so on, so they'll say you're strong. You know what I mean? Oh, he's a strong dude, he lift up that, or this and that. It's the same thing when we use the word power. You see what I'm saying? So when we talk about the choice of words and faith, we're not talking about what they taught us and all the other bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Because you have to have faith, strength, power, and be strong within yourself in all ways so that it doesn't exist. It's the same as saying love. Does love exist? Where does love come from? Okay, so when you start talking about certain things like this and you look at the word power in itself, the word power, you know what I'm saying, doesn't exist. What exists is the brutality. So you can replace the word power with the word brutality. Because in order to make people do something, or for them to say that you have the power over them, in always wasn't based on them just saying it, because it doesn't really exist. What exists is that the fact that they have guns, bombs, knives, the army, the air force, and all the shit under their under their systematic power of electoral office. And then you put some idiot in there, and now he has the executive office, the chief of command seat, where he can command these things down on you. So it is really not power, it's brutality that you should replace the word power with. And to replace the word faith, you should be replacing the word yourself. You know what I mean? But at the same time, in the power aspect, you know what I'm saying? Many people say, well, they got the power, they got it. No, they don't. What they have is brutality. You know what I'm saying? And when we look at what's going on in the Gaza Strip, that's what you see. Netanyahu doesn't have any power. What power? Israel, the fake ass criminally renaming the area, that Israel doesn't have any power. What the power comes from is brutality. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people have a lot of illusions in their brains, and so on and so on. Same thing as they say, you know, like the General Cyrus Sultan said, he was explaining how they go around saying Jesus died for you, when Jesus didn't die for you because he didn't want to die for you. You know what I'm saying? He wanted to pass the cup to someone else. So while you're busy talking a lot of nonsense, we see that. So when we look at our electoral process today and what's going on in the world today, electorally, you know what I'm saying, we see a corruption that is very deep, that leads even to Hollywood, you know what I'm saying, Disney World, you know what I'm saying, and all type of LGBTQ nonsense and all kind of fraud, because in the mix of the wicked beast and their ideology in this nonsense, you know what I'm saying, is based on solely a form of true chaos. You know what I'm saying? And that's what they want to suit. Women standing up on cars, you know, while they're doing selfies and filming while they strip off all their clothes, and, you know what I'm saying, I guess they feel much liberated. But, you know what I'm saying, if you want to do that, we could do that a better way. You don't got to go down jumping all across cars. There's places for that if you want to do, you know, that crazy shit. But out in the public, on the public street, you know what I'm saying, what is the daring and what is the mentality of that when you have children and all types of other people out there showing no respect to the children, and therefore on and on. You know what I'm saying? So we have to start to look at what is being taught to our people, even going back for the days of the early cartoons and different things like that, as Pharaoh had mentioned, you know what I'm saying, which I knew of. You know what I'm saying? Even going back to Digimon and all these different cartoons that were presented back then, all the way up to what we see going on now, led to a lot of mentality in these children to think demonistically, and not only that, but dehumanize their brain, to think that killing someone is just a pleasure and nothing comes out of it. Same thing we have with that boxer guy Garcia and the stuff that he mentioned that he saw. You know what I'm saying? The General Cyrus Sultan said he was speaking on. You know what I'm saying? It's true. These people do these type of things, and they've been doing it a long time. These rituals they feel keeps them in power. You know what I'm saying? These nasty things that they do, they feel that they rule the world so they can do this. You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing about it that you can do. But at the same time, the world that we live in, yes, you can, but you have to get your head out of the out of the sky and out of the ground, like an ostrich. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know if ostriches even do that. Bury their head in the ground when they're scared. They're one of the biggest so-called birds on planet Earth that don't fly. It actually runs. You know what I'm saying? But that's just a stigmata that they use. But at the same time, get your head out your ass, most people would say. You know what I'm saying? Because all that you see before you can be removed. All that you see before you can come to a halt and stopped, or even put into check. But it's going to take the minds of the people to be strong to understand this. Arguing back and forth is not going to do it. What we see in the government present to us when it came to Donald Trump, and creepy ass pedophilia Biden and the rest of them, you know what I'm saying, on either side of the aisle, you know what I'm saying, is a complete chaos and childishness at its greatest portion, you know what I'm saying, proportion, you know what I mean, to have this type of shit going on in our country, you know what I'm saying, when we have families, kids, and everybody else out here who should be, who we should be growing and making to understand the different factions and the different power that is giving to these people that they use, replacing the word power with brutality, because that's what it really is, to make people do what you want them to do, such as what Biden did when he said, come on, people, man, come on, when everybody was hesitant to even do the vax thing. You know what I'm saying? He's over there telling people that they're moving too slow. Come on, people, come on, and all that type of stuff. So we know in itself that many things that we see going on is all based on their pragmatical bullshit. But the people are going to have to now get their minds together beyond a lot of the bullshit so they can fight against things that may be of turning within our government. It's impossible to just sit here and do that, you know what I'm saying? So we know that's what it is. Even when we look at certain things like some of the things they say out their mouth, you know what I'm saying, psychologically, you know, the reverse psychology and all. When we look at Biden hits out at Trump in the Georgia rally, let's look at the rally. He said he's been sucking up to dictators all over the world. You know what I'm saying? This is coming in by my man George of The Guardian. You know what I'm saying? In more ways than one. You know what I'm saying? But we see the question isn't whether demon Democrats in Georgia will vote for creepy Joe Biden on Tuesday or in the November. It's how many. The creep Joe Biden swung through Georgia and Saturday when his rally, this is going back, whatever, you know, to collect, you know, endorsement of the political action